In this video, I'm going to show you guys the best keybinds for Fortnite. I was recently sent this amazing keyboard and mouse from Akko, and so I just had to play on it for a little while. You can check out that video if you want to, by the way. It's going to be released in the future. But before I went ahead and actually played on mouse and keyboard, I had to pick up the best keybinds so that I can play optimally without having to struggle not one bit. Starting off with the movement binds, I obviously had WASD as my primary movement functions. Unless you play something different on like IJKL or literally anything like that, then WASD should be your go-to option. Obviously, we're going to have space for jump, which is the only jump bind you should be using, by the way. After that, I have caps lock for tactical sprint, or just sprint is what it's called here. And it is the best keybind for sprint. It's better than shift and it's better than control. And speaking of left control, we're going to have control on crouch. In my opinion, it's the better bind against shift. Shift is great, but only if you have a weaker pinky. Plus, shift is going to have a major function later on in this video. Moving on to the combat settings, we have ourselves left click for shoot and right click for target, obviously. Then we have R for reload, which is pretty standard. Then we have mouse wheel up for use, but if you find that too uncomfortable, then make sure to use E. Mouse wheel pickup is pretty good if you want to 50-50 someone, but in most cases, E should be enough for you. For the pickaxe, up until the weapon slot 4, it should be in this order: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. With the last slot being X because it's way too far off of your index fingers. And the only reason why I can recommend 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 for weapon slots 1 to 4 as well as your pickaxe is because it's easy to remember which slots you have your weapons or your heals are. So in my instance, I have shotgun usually at 3. So if I needed to switch to my meds, I know it's on number 4 because my meds are always right next to my shotgun. So this is a pretty cool way to just easily remember without having to focus too much on muscle memory. And weapon slot 5 is on X because 6 is just way too far. For the building, we have left control for crouch while building. Then we're going to have one of our side mouse buttons for wall, C for floor, the other side mouse button for stairs, and then we're going to have roofed or cone on shift. If I wasn't playing with side mouse buttons, then it would look something like this, with Q for wall and V for stairs instead of the side mouse buttons. But in most cases, if you guys can afford to buy a side mouse button on your mouse, or literally buy a mouse that already has built-in side mouse buttons like this one, then you should always follow this layout. Booga played on this, I'm pretty sure Mongrel plays similarly to this, and a lot of pro players recommend wall and stair on these side mouse buttons in comparison to floor, roof, or edit binds. Then we're going to have T for trap, place building on left click, repair/upgrade on H, rotate building, this should be right click, and change building material should be on G. I had it the wrong way around, but yeah, it should look like this. Then we're going to have F for building edit. I would say either F, G, or E are the best edit binds, but in my opinion, F should be your building edit if you have this combination. Then you want to make sure that the secondary building edit sort of keybind, and you want to make sure that the secondary building edit keybind is mouse wheel down, and then you want to head on over to reset building edit and make sure the secondary option for that is also mouse wheel down, so that you have scroll wheel reset, which is one of the most overpowered things a mouse and keyboard player has over controller players, which is honestly pretty annoying, especially since I'm a controller player at heart. Everything else here shouldn't matter, and you guys should really focus on the main ones that I showed. Everything is pretty much up to personal preference, except for these ones. These are pretty optimal, and if you can get used to them, then you'll be insanely good. So that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys learned something new, and if you did, then make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Otherwise, that's it for me, and I will see you guys in the next video.